Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another episode of Intuitive Angling, and thanks for making some time out of your day to spend with me and watch the video. Always very grateful for that. And guys, today I'm going to give you some tips and advice on fishing the buzz toad, or this is the zoom frog. In other words, these plastic frogs that are designed to be fished buzzing across the surface. These are excellent spring lures, and I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice on not only how to rig them, but how to set them up and the type of areas to fish them in, because really from about now into June, they can be really good under the right situation. So we're gonna identify that for you guys in today's video. Also guys, just a quick invitation out there, anybody interested in booking an on the water lesson with me, you can do that by going to my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler, and just shoot me a private message. And also anybody interested in becoming a channel member of Intuitive Angling that allows you to get extra videos every week that aren't seen by the public, just go to my homepage of my YouTube channel, click on the join button for information. So much appreciated. Okay guys, everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people are aware of the fact about buzz baits are really good in the springtime of the year. In early spring, from about March, April, May, buzzers are really good. But one of the topwater lures that's sort of under the radar in the spring are what I call these buzz toads, which are, they're just plastic frogs that have some type of a tail on them that creates disturbance in the water. Everybody that has bass fished very long knows what the zoom horny toad is. Now this is the zoom frog, and the difference between like the frog and the horny toad is the zoom frog with the paddle tails on it. This is a lot more noisy than like the horny toad. So I would put it like in between. If you had like a buzz bait, like a 1/2 ounce buzz bait and a zoom horny toad, and you listen to both of them coming through the water, this would be about in between. The sound, it'd be about in between what those two are. It's louder than the horny toad, it's quieter than the buzzbait, and in certain situations it can be deadly. Now, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about how to rig this thing, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about how to fish it and what to look for. A lot of people use an EWG on this thing, and they bury it weedless back in the top. You don't want to do that, guys. This thing is pretty hard, and I found a much better way to rig it. First of all, if you're fishing it over like grass, like matted grass, yeah, you're gonna have to use something weedless, but I wanna show you the way that I fish this in the springtime, because I don't fish it over thick vegetation. I throw this thing around the edges of the cover. Like I'll throw it, buzz it past a stump, buzz it past a lay down tree, buzz it down the side of a dock, buzz it down a shady bank. I'm not fishing over thick stuff where I can get hung up. So I lost so many fish with the EWG style, I started experimenting, and this is what I came up with. And by the way, guys, I'll put all this stuff, the links, my Tackle Warehouse links in the description. If you guys want to get some of this stuff, you can just I'll link it in the description in the video here. But what I do here is this is a Gamakatsu G Finesse 4/0 heavy cover worm hook, straight shank. And I'll take it with the zoom frog here, and what you want to do is you want to come through, you got the top is flat and then the bottom serrated like that. You want to come through like this, so where the hook's going to be coming out the bottom. So I'm going to thread it in there. Now this is pretty hard, so sometimes it takes a little bit of force to get it down through there. And guys, I've experimented a ton with rigging this thing, and this is absolutely the setup that I get the best number of hookups on. So what you want to do is come through all the way past the keeper there, where the hook is coming out the bottom like that. Now, if you try to do it where the hook comes out the top here, the frog will run upside down, which doesn't really matter, but I prefer it like this. And when you have the hook pointed down like that, it acts as the keel, and the frog will run across the surface like that, perfectly straight. Now, the advantage with this is you've got the hook exposed completely, which you don't have it buried back up in the top of the plastic like with an EWG. Guys, this right here is the most critical element as far as hooking the fish. You will not hardly ever miss one like this. It's like if they bite it, you got it. You don't have anything to penetrate. It's completely bare like that. So that's the way I fish it all the time. Next setup is the gear on it. I fish it on 40-pound test Seagar Smackdown braided line. Usually that Megabass 7-foot 2-inch perfect pitch rod, which gives me a lot of power with that. And that's the setup with it. Now, the places that you want to fish it at in the springtime of the year are obviously shallow areas. Shallow, flat areas are going to be the best places. Normally in and around those type of places where the fish like to spawn in. Now, not to say they're, it's not necessarily for spawning fish, but it's the type of areas that they get into, because the fish will start moving into those bedding type areas, which tend to be the flatter areas that are more protected, back in the coves a little bit like that. Once that water temperature starts getting in the mid 50s, and they're going to stay up in there into June sometime. A lot of times those fish will never leave, and they'll feed on bluegills all summer. So there's a population of fish that lives shallow in those super flat areas all year, and there's not a better bait than the buzz toad here. So what I like to do with it this time of year is I'll go back in the flatter protected coves where I think they could be good spawning areas, and I just start working my way down. I start fishing about halfway back in the cove. I'll work all the way back out the other side and just run and gun areas like that all day long. And just fish whatever cover is available. You may have lily pads, you may have gator grass, you may have rocks, wood. Every lake's going to be different, but it's just the same type of deal. You're just fishing those spawning type areas. Nothing special, guys. Just throw it out there and just keep your rod tip high and just a nice medium retrieve, just fast enough to get those tails wagging on it. And also, when you do get a bite on it, even though that you got an open hook on it, always anticipate that bite, and don't ever act like a live nerve ending where you're reeling that thing and all of a sudden one blows it, and as soon as you see a blow up, you just jerk back on it. When one blows up on it, just wait a second until you see the frog disappearing. Once you can't see the frog, then just lean back into the fish, and you're going to get them almost every time with that. But anyway, guys, it's just something you might want to try. It's a little bit different. A lot of people fish this thing, but they don't fish it near as much as a buzzbait or a whopper plop or something like that. And it has got a cult following. There's a lot of guys that use these and don't talk about them very much. But anyway, this Zoom frog is definitely my favorite one. I mean, you guys see this thing in the water, how it sounds and looks, you guys will definitely be impressed with it. But anyway, all my Tackle Warehouse links in the description for it, guys. Hope it helps you out. We'll talk later.